Welcome you live to Sweetwater High School, King Stadium. Important Region 2-3A matchup. The Sweetwater Wildcats hosting the McMinn Central Chargers. This will be the 30th meeting between these programs. Sweetwater leads the overall series 20 games to 9. McMinn Central's won the last 2. Glad you're with us on WMTY and WDEH. Cy Prince to kick it away. 3 receiver set. Mullins looking to throw. The outside picked off by Powell. Powell to 35 to the 40, 45 across midfield. Room to roam down to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Sweetwater. Jackson Powell. Prince, this will be a 26-yard field goal to try to give Sweetwater the lead from the left hash. Snap, hold, the kick is on the way. It looks good, and the officials say it's good. Murphy's back in the football game for the Wildcats. 3 receivers in the set for the Chargers. Mullins hands off to Rayburn, and Sweetwater's defense
got him
right there at the Sweetwater 12-yard line. They line up to go for it. 3 receivers bunched to the far side. Now receiver comes in motion across the formation as Mullins looking to throw. He's going to be hit as he releases the football, and it falls incomplete because of the contact. That's Gus Campbell with the pressure and making that play go the Wildcat way. Incomplete, turnover on downs. Single wing, Paris comes in motion. They fake to him, but give to Fitch. He's got a hole. Fitch out across midfield, down to the 45 to the 40. Foot race, makes that man miss. Not the second, though. They caught up to him, but not before he gets to the 20-yard line. Dacus comes under center, 2 backs, Fitch and Paris. Paris going to get the handoff. Paris up in the hole. Paris walks into the end zone off the left side, 7 yards to the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Jeremiah Paris. And the lead goes to 9. Mullins high snap over his head. Back to the 35, and they fall on it. Does Central. No, they come loose. Did Sweetwater come away with it after that? They do.
They do.
Coming out of there, Dominic Yeomans. 25-yard field goal, the snap, the hold, the kick, right down Broadway. Good. They spread out 4. Mullins straight drop looking. Mullins looking to the end zone, looking for McInturf. Picked off in the end zone by Stiles. 10 at the 49. Misdirection, handoff Fitch across midfield, down to the 45 to the 40 to the outside, 30, 25. Knocked out of bounds around the 21-yard line. McMinn Central comes in, keeps playing under tough circumstances. It looked like Sweetwater had the advantage early, but McMinn Central kept hanging around. And they finally got the lead, and then they got the win. 20-13 at the final. With the win, McMinn Central improved to 6-3 overall, now 2-2 in Region 2-3A play. With the loss, Sweetwater falls to 5-4 overall, now 2-2 in Region 2-3A play. And then that will set up next week. Sweetwater needing to win to get in the playoffs, and the loss puts you out. And I have to look and make sure on that, but that's kind of what possibly riding on that. Yeah. And so tough loss here at home today for Sweetwater, 20-13 against a good McMinn Central team. And that is your final score. 20-13, McMinn Central gets the win. We're going to step away for a timeout. We come back. It'll be the Wildcat Wrap-Up Show by Jackie Jones Ford. We'll recap today's action, have final game stats, talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Tommy Bunch, and select the Domino's Player of the Game. McMinn Central wins 20-13. The Wildcat Wrap-Up Show brought to you by Jackie Jones Ford. The final here from King Stadium. McMinn Central gets the win over the Sweetwater Wildcats, 20-13. Now joined by the head coach of the Wildcats, Tommy Bunch. Coach, a tough one. Your team had opportunities. We were talking here to Coach Martin. It seemed like it felt like that game you had control but could never get that 2-score lead that you needed because a team like McMinn Central got to put away, and they finally made some plays and got the lead.
Yeah, that's right. You know, you summed it up perfectly right there. We never did do what it took to put them away. You know, we let them hang around really the whole game, you know, and they ended up making good on that there towards the end. you know, and you know that's what we talked about at halftime. Is you know we're up, but we all had a bad taste in our mouth because we should have been up more than what we were. You know, and some of that, really all phases of the game. You know, defensively we were able to create some turnovers, but then offensively we weren't able to get touchdowns out of it. You know, and that just hurts. And then early on, our kickoff team. Well, and I'll credit their kickoff return team. You know, they've got a lot of weapons on the back end there, and you know they did a good job of getting great returns in that phase of the game. And you know, I think that was the difference, especially early.
So what do you say to your team? They played well in a lot of phases. What's some positives you take? I know it's hard, a loss like this. You don't want to no moral victories, but what did you like about your football team today?
I thought we played pretty good defense. You know, I thought we tackled well. Thought we rallied to the football. Thought we got lined up. I thought we played their playmakers pretty good. You know, we didn't allow them. You know, we went into this game and said we're not going to allow certain kids to beat us, and I don't feel like they did. You know, I feel like our defensive game plan going in was really solid, and I felt like we executed it well. But, you know, what I told them in the post-game huddle there was really quick because not much needs to be said. It's a quick turnaround. It's Saturday. We've got a game next Thursday. And that game's huge. If we want to make the playoffs, we got to go make sure that we win it. And so we don't have time to feel sorry for ourselves. Coaches have got to get to work now. We don't have a day break, and we got to go to work.
It's a Scott team that's playing well, and they're coming in here. And as you just said it, you can still make the playoffs. You got to win next week, and so a lot riding on that game, is there?
Yeah, there is. You know, it's going to be a big game. Glad it's at home. Wish we had an extra day to prepare now, considering this. But you know, you don't always get what you want, but get what you need, and we'll be all right. You know, we're gonna we'll hurt for a day, but we got to go to work, and we're gonna be fine. We're gonna put together a good plan. Our kids are gonna come to work on Monday, ready to go, and we're gonna have a great week of preparation, and we're gonna go make the playoffs.
Coach, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you guys.
Sweeter head football coach Tommy Bunch. His team coming up short today at home against McMinn Central, 20-13, the final. McMinn Central gets the win. The game started out in Sweetwater's favor. They got the score going. You know, you look back and penalties. You know, I look at this play when they're scoring. They kicked a field goal, take the lead. But it should have been a touchdown because they got the interception, a 70-yard return for a touchdown for Jackson Powell. Yeah. But a block in the back negated the touchdown, but still set them up the short field and end up kicking a 26-yard field goal with 3:54 to go in the first quarter to lead 3-0. Sweetwater extended their lead with 7:55 to go in the second quarter after a 7-play, 88-yard drive for the Wildcats. Jeremiah Parris, a 7-yard touchdown run. The extra point was good. And Sweetwater led by 2 scores at that point, went up 10-0. But the ensuing kickoffs were big today, as it was Moss again with a big-time return all the way down to the Sweetwater 11-yard line. And quickly, after a yard lost on a play, Mullins, the quarterback, ran it in for 12 yards. The extra point was good, and quickly it was back to a one-score game, 10-7. Sweetwater felt like really good there at the half, 11-play, 53-yard drive, and with just a few seconds remaining in the half, it was a 25-yard made field goal by Cy Prince, and Sweetwater led 13-7 at the half, and then was going to get the football to start the third quarter. Third quarter, that they wasn't able to double dip, as we talked about, Coach. They couldn't take advantage, and then McMinn Central in the third quarter, it was Mullins to Moss for a 12-yard touchdown pass. The extra point was good, and the Chargers took the lead for the first time in the game with 25 seconds to go in the third quarter, 14-13. And then there, Sweetwater felt like they had the stop on a 4th and long, a pass interference call, moved it down to the 13-yard line in a fresh set of downs. Sweetwater let McMinn Central score in order to try to get the football back and have time. Central scored on a 13-yard touchdown run by Miller. The extra point was missed. It was 20-13, and then Sweetwater, from that point, they turned it over. It was a hit on the quarterback, Dacus, fumbled it, and McMinn Central recovered. And McMinn Central then able to run the clock out and win 20-13. A game, in your coaching experience, a game where you felt like you played good enough to win. And maybe felt like even you should have won, but you didn't make enough plays. That's hard to swallow, isn't it?
It is, and I know it's eating that Coach Bunch right now and that whole staff and the kids. But I told you at one point, maybe at halftime, I think I told you off the air that the first 4 minutes of the second half for McMinn Central, I felt like due to this situation was really, really important. Now, I don't think they scored, but they were able to keep Sweetwater from scoring, and that kept them in the game, as we talked about, longer and longer. And I think eventually it came to fruition, kind of what we said. Some of their guys going to make some plays eventually.
20-13 the final. McMinn Central defeats Sweetwater. As you listen to the Wildcat Wrap-Up Show, brought to you by Jackie Jones Ford. We're going to step away for another timeout. When we come back after the break, we'll have final game stats. We've still got to select the Domino's player of the game as well. McMinn Central defeats Sweetwater 20-13. Wildcat Wrap-Up Show brought to you by Jackie Jones Ford. Sweetwater losing a tough one here at home today to McMinn Central, 20-13. Of course, we're Wildcat Radio, we're Wildcat guys, but you got to feel good in the scenario for McMinn Central getting a win in that particular situation. Everything they're going through, again, we wanted Sweetwater to win, but if they didn't, I know that not going to take the pain away, but a little bright spot for the Chargers.
That's well put. I kind of thought that same thing earlier. Obviously, you hit it right on the head. We're Wildcat guys, but for that situation, you have to have a little heart for them and wish them well.
Let's take a look at our final game stats. Bryan Nile doing a good job for us. We appreciate him. Team stats, first for the McMinn Central Chargers, 20 points on the board, 13 first downs in the game, 32 rushes for 70 yards. They were 14 for 27 for 155 yards passing, 59 total plays for 225 yards of offense. And I think, I don't have the halftime numbers, but I think they came on and had more plays in that second half and really aided them
I know
working that clock and some cashing them in for points,
right,
what they weren't doing in the first half. They had 8 penalties, though, for 65 yards and 4 turnovers. That's something they can look at and address. 1 for 8 on third down, 1 for 3 on fourth down. Time of possession, 25 minutes, 15 seconds. Sweetwater, 13 points on the board, 10 first downs, 36 rushes for 175 yards, pretty close to their average, so positive there. 7 for 13 passing, 56 yards, 49 total plays, so 10 less than Central, 49 total plays for 231 yards total offense. So they had 6 more yards of total offense. 7 penalties for 55 yards, and there were some big ones.
Yes.
Nothing bigger than that pass interference down there.
Yeah.
2 turnovers. Those hurt in the second half as well. 2 for 7 on third down. I didn't go for it on fourth down. They were time possession, 23 minutes, 15 seconds. Sweetwater scored 3 in the first quarter. It was 3-0. They outscored Central 10-7 in the second quarter to lead 13-7 at the half. McMinn Central scored 7 in the third to take a 14-13 lead, then scored 6 in the fourth for a 20-13 final score. McMinn Central stats individual, rushing, Miller, 14 carries, 46 yards and a touchdown. Mullins, 10 carries, 13 yards and a touchdown. Rayburn, 9 carries, 11 yards rushing. Mullins passing, 14 for 27, 155 yards, 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Moss, can't talk about his impact, say enough about his impact on the kicking game, on the return game for Central, but Moss, 6 receptions, 83 yards and a touchdown. McIntyre, 3 receptions, 39 yards. Gooden, 3 receptions, 14 yards. Holden, 2 receptions, 18 yards. And Giles, 1 reception, 7 yards. For Sweetwater, Ty Fitch went over 1,000 yards on the season, needed 36 today. He had 17 carries for 132 yards. Good day for Ty Fitch. Paris, 16 carries, 62 yards. I'm trying to remember who scored the touchdown. Dacus, negative 19 yards because he had some sacks in that ball game. Dacus, 7 for 13. Let's see, I know it right here on the. Let me look at that. Yeah, Paris, 7-yard touchdown run. I went blank there for a minute, Coach, trying to remember the whole game.
You put me on the spot, and of course I choked.
Dacus passing 7 for 13, 56 yards. Receiving Styles, 3 receptions, 27 yards. Murphy, 1 reception, 12 yards. Jonkins, 1 reception, 4 yards. Carell, 1 reception, 8 yards. Paris, 1 reception, 5 yards. And that's our final game stats. There you go, 20-13. McMinn Central defeats Sweetwater. We're going to step away for our final commercial break, catch up on our commercials, and then we'll come back with our Domino's Player of the Game and look ahead till next week. Wildcat Wrap-Up Show brought to you by Jackie Jones Ford. The final, McMinn Central defeats Sweetwater 20-13, and that sets up for Sweetwater a must-win next week if they want to be playoffs. So you want a scenario, if you win out, you could possibly host a playoff game. Now you have to win that game to get in the playoffs. Probably not going to host at this point, but to get in the playoffs. If you lose, you're probably done next week.
Right, and I think our team and staff is okay with that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying okay losing today, but okay we lost, so at least we still have an opportunity to advance to the playoffs. And just like Scott County, it's for all the marbles. So next week you've gone from, like you said, with an opportunity to host, but you still got a chance, you got to win to get in next week.
And with this flip side of that, with this win for Central, they've put themselves in a position to probably host if they take care of business against Austin East.
That's what made this one so important. Is you wanted it because it wouldn't guarantee it, but it gave you a nice opportunity to maybe host for either team.
So again, McMinn Central hosting Austin East next week. Sweetwater hosting Scott for 2 big region games to again put the final math on those region playoff positions. And so we'll be here. We'll have the broadcast for you. But one last item for this game. We need to pick a Domino's Player of the Game, and it's one of those games where several people could have gotten it, but a gentleman who could have made an argument to have gotten it last week, he played well again. He's stripping the football machine. I think he had a strip today.
Yeah.
He had an interception return that actually went for a touchdown but was called back. But the interception stood, and that set up Sweetwater's lone touchdown of the day. So today our Domino's Player of the Game is Jackson Powell.
Yeah, and he that's funny you say that. I saw that kid all summer when I would walk out here. I saw that kid running with a weight vest on all summer, and his body has held up, and he's in good condition, and he's been playing really well. I've watched about all the games, and he's involved a lot. So that shows you right there. Just keep working hard.
Congratulations, Jackson Powell, our Domino's Player of the Game. Sweetwater loses a close one today here at King Barong Stadium to McMinn Central, 20-13. And with that, Sweetwater falls to 5-4 overall, now 2-2 in region play, and they will have the Scott Highlanders coming in here next week. And Sweetwater, that's a region game, and Sweetwater needing to win that to get in the playoffs. And so more drama next week here. And that will be a Thursday night game. That game was originally scheduled for Friday, but Friday's Halloween. So they've moved that. I don't know if that's why they moved it, but they moved it to Thursday. And so that will be a Thursday night game. So a quick turnaround for the Wildcats, but a big one against Scott here Thursday night.
Yeah, we need to get out and pack this place up and support these guys, and because it is a survive and advance deal now. So, once you get in, you don't ever know what's going to happen. So let's just try our best and give our coaches and our players the best opportunity to get in as we can.
So we'll have the broadcast Thursday if you can't make it, or listen to us while you're here in the stands. Sweetwater hosting Scott for the final game of the regular season, trying to get in the playoffs. Our coverage will begin at 5:45, kickoff 7 o'clock between Sweetwater Wildcats and the Scott Highlanders. You can catch it here on WMTY and WDEH, and we'll have live video on YouTube. Sweetwater falls to McMinn Central 20-13. That's going to do it for our broadcast today. Thank you to our sponsors who made it possible. Coach Martin, thank you. I always enjoy it when you get to join us. It's fun, and we appreciate it. You always do a great job.
Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate you asking me. I enjoy it.
So for Mike Martin here with me, Brian Nile, our stat man, we've got Kara Day running the camera for us. Appreciate her. We've got Jacob Keener back at the station running master controls. I'm Brian Burchfield saying good night, everybody.
Thank you so much for watching SHS TV. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Be sure to subscribe and help support our channel by turning on notifications so you're the first to know when we post a new video.